Tom, this is the last time we're going to be together in 2021, so we better leave hitting some home runs in. Where are we going to take our swings today, Tom?
We are going to try our luck down at Kenilworth, and that's in South Africa. One of the top tracks in South Africa. So it'll be interesting to see
how we do
there. And also, it's an interesting layout track. I mean, it reminds me a little of the Cura. And I've watched them race.
It looks like one of those Swiss Army knives, but there's just
going out every which direction. And they run. They have a straightaway, but most of the races we're doing are on the curve. Have one curve. So a Belmont again type of track with the big sweeping turns, and this definitely has that. So it'll big fields, and let's see what we can find.
Let's see what we can do. Might as well go home swinging for the fences at Kenilworth in South Africa. I couldn't think of a better thing to do on that.
Yeah, and I did take a look. Most of the betting outlets that I use, one or two that I use, offer Kenilworth. They call everybody out there, check your provider, and see if they offer it for you. I know Twin Spires does, and I know Naira does.
So being able to bet it is one thing, but knowing what time to bet. These races are, as you mentioned, a similar time to like England, right?
Yeah, very similar.
So yeah,
and
should be going off in the morning tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it'll be off in tomorrow morning. Probably, I think around 5 a.m. Central Time they go off.
It's a whole new level of insomnia racing, Tom.
Well, that's get up early late racing, unless you're watching, Hong Kong overnight or whatever. No, Hong Kong races on Sunday, so that wouldn't be doing that. But Australia for sure.
Absolutely, for sure. So the first race we're going to do, Tom, is the Southeaster Sprint. It's a listed turf stakes race. Tell us about that race, Tom. I got a call. Let's see. They want to know my picks.
They want to know your picks. Yeah. Well,
just watch.
We're going for them an unusual distance of 1,100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
I only found one horse in the entire field that's gone 1,100.
Which one was
that? I was kind of surprised in that, but it gave me, so you had to scratch your head and go, okay, well, is the 1,000, you got the 5 furlong horses that specialize in that, and is the extra half a furlong going to make a difference? And then reverse it, is it just not long enough for 6 furlong plus horses?
Mm-hmm.
So I took it from that approach, and my top choice is number 8, Safe Return. Has 9 starts, 2 wins, and 2 seconds. Made all the running in the last race, and except for the final, the 100 meter plus, where it backed up and backed off. But this was a longer race, and it actually faced some horses that we're going to talk about in some of the other races. So dropping back in distance, I think really will help this horse. And if it can sit on the front end and get a comfortable pace, it was going too fast last time. But this time, if they can get a comfortable pace with this, I think it's got a great chance of it winning this race. And I think you get okay odds on it. I took number 2, Bereave, as my second choice. 8 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 2 thirds. Well, you can't complain about consistency. It's run 2 good races this season. And one was in a short field, then it moved up to a graded 2 race.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's coming back down to a listed, and I think that'll give it a better chance in here. Certainly hit the board. Last race, it made a nice move. Went from 7th at about 800 meters out to finish 2nd and lost by a neck. So it was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would be very surprised if this is not a short-priced horse. I don't really think.
Well, it looks like right now it's tough to tell with the morning odds because I have the odds up in here, and it looks like 9-1 maybe. Because I'm not quite 100.
Yeah, that's what I saw, but I think this horse is going to get bet. I'd be surprised if it goes off at that kind of price. I mean, yeah, this is a good field, but there's a good bunch in this that can run this distance, and it'll certainly be interesting. I took 4 and a name I Ambrosexia. I don't know.
Yeah, good enough.
It's a lightly raced horse. It only has 4 starts, has 2 wins and a second. The last one, it looks like it needed a race. It didn't show him. It was sat 6th and then just backed up. And so I'm going with that. It is a grade 1 winner in South Africa at 1,200 meters.
Mm-hmm.
The first race was 1,000, so maybe it needed a little more, and maybe that 1,100 is the right sweet spot for this horse. So we'll see.
Number 4, Embryo.
Yeah.
So what I did, Tom, is there's not really a ton of information available on these horses. I read what I could from other punters in that part of the world. Over here, it's a whole different meaning. And I went through and just kind of looked at what these horses ran at similar times for similar distance, looked at their form, see which way they're trending, up or down, and then kind of look back to see if they run their best, what would be the time that they would run. So my top pick is number 4, Embryoix. Maybe we'll go with that. Sounds good. Then for me, my next pick, which is interesting to me, these things are out of order. Number 9, Resonate, is my second pick. It looks like I can X that one out, huh? Get rid of them. And
That's
then
scratched.
No, is it scratched? Because all of them have an X over it.
Oh, no. Okay. No, that's not scratched.
I don't know. Maybe it means if I don't want to watch it.
If you don't want to see it, you can X it out. Yeah.
I may not want to see it after the race.
Well, you may not see it in the race. So
that could be too. Then I have the same horse you do, number 3, Bereave, as my third pick. And finally, my fourth pick is Barney McGrew. So that's going to be how I like him. And again, there's not a lot of information, so I got to go back to some real horse racing basics, form, time, that sort of thing. The one thing that is available is what times they run at different distances. So I kind of try to compare, and then once I have a sense of what horses can run, then I want to see who's trending up and who's trending down, and that's how I go ahead and pick them.
Just as a note, Racing and Sport I used for my picks. And they had pretty good information on these races. And one of the little features that I liked was on the far right side of the running line of the horse, they have the link to the guy, the racing guru, who's posting the videos up of the running of the races, which was useful to watch a couple of those. Also, there's a little circle right above it, and the circle you click on gives you how the horse raced, and so they give you numbers either if it was counterclockwise or clockwise, and also the pace of the race, if it was a fast pace, slow pace, and then how the horse finished.
That's a good. And what was that again?
It's Racing and Sport.
RacingandSport.com.
Yeah.
Okay. The next race we're going to do for our sporting, Tom, is the Victress Stakes. Tell us a little bit about this Grade 3 affair.
Well, I think this is for fillies and mares. It looks interesting bunch because we've got some that are one that's really good, but stepping up in class right now. Mm-hmm. And then we've got an assortment of others that may, just sort of there, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. They're good enough. And certainly in this level of racing, they should be able to, we should see some interesting things happen here. And it's a Grade 3, so it's not not the top, but these are horses. Some of these horses have raced at the higher level, and they're looking for a spot, and this may be the spot for some of them. So I took a long shot to start out. I took Chat Ching in my top choice.
Number 3.
And 11 starts, 2 wins and a third. Small field last time out. It looked like it needed a race. It was a slow pace, and the horse finished fast, but again, small field. Didn't really, it looked like if I watched the race, it looked like it was just stretching its legs more than it was actually into the race. They were maybe using it as a conditioning race to prep for this a little more thing. The thing is, this horse has been running against better horses. She's run and done okay, but not great against the Grade 1s and the Grade 2s types. So it's not like she's out of it. I think the added distance helps her. She's tried it once before without success, but again, I think based on how they're doing the prep, I think this is a race they think they can have a good chance. And it was hard to say what the odds were going to be. I think about 6-1, maybe longer. I'm thinking longer because there's some good horses in here, and so it'll be interesting to see how this one does. The number 8,
right?
Yeah. Number 6, Santa Teresa is my next choice. This is a horse that is stepping up in class, but its record is 10 starts, 8 wins, and a second. That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
There are some things to consider when looking at this horse. One, this is a new track for it. It's going to be stepping up a distance from the last race, but it has won at 2,000 meters. So last race, it went up in time for the win. It was just up in time. So maybe adding a little distance will help.
It could, yeah.
A timing thing, and since it has won at a longer distance, why not? Let's face it, it's kind of hard to fault a horse that's been running, has 8 wins out of 10.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do. Somehow I look down at my notes, I don't see its name. I'm a little worried.
And it is stepping up. It's a grade 3, but based on its way it's been running and some of the horses it's been beating, it's kind of hard to pass on it.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly the record bears it out. So number 7, Rain in Newmarket, was my final choice. This is an interesting horse because it has 10 starts. It's been in the money all the time, but it only won twice, has 7 seconds and 1/3. It's 2 for 2 running second at this distance. So, yeah.
So you have a third.
Her wins are at this track. So that's always a positive.
Yes, indeed.
This is her second start of a layoff. When she's done it before, she ran, guess what?
Second at this track.
Yep. Win? I put a question mark. But this is a horse that definitely pays its bills.
Yes, indeed.
Let's face it. It's never been out of the money. And it's kind of hard to pass on a horse that's never been out of the money.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to pass on them. I did pass on one that did win 8 out of 10, as you mentioned. Again, going through the numbers, just looking at form, looking at recency, which way the horse is trending, looking at comparable times, comparable tracks, races that they matched up against each other. I went with number 4, Marina, as my top selection. Then number 7, Tom's Rain in Newmarket. Hey, if it finishes second 7 out of 10 times or whatever, you got to put it in second, right? It's where it goes. Just all Rain in Market, all. You got your exacta and your trifecta. My next horse is the number 9 horse, Pink Tourmaline. And then finally, number 10. This is going to be like my picks for this race. Tom. So flawless. I was going to call you Sean and then Terry. It was right down the list. Sean, Terry, Tom. I was going to call I would have got it right on the 3rd try. So that's how I rank them for the race number 5. What's this race called again? It's right below me, the Victress Stakes. Yes, it's right on the screen, right in front of my face. How did I miss that one? Doesn't shock me, though, that I missed that one at all, Tom, because as you get older, sometimes you overlook things, right?
That's part of it. You get those brain farts. They just increase and increase and increase.
Unfortunately, that is so accurate. The next race up on the board, Tom, is the Peninsula Handicap. This is a grade 2, and how far is this one? And tell us about the
I don't have the distance. Do you have it popped up? I forgot to write it down.
Let's see. This one, it says it is 1 mile.
Okay, so it's 1,600.
Yes, 1 mile, and there are 9 runners.
Yeah, 1,600. So this again is the one big sloping turn, like most of our races are. So except for that, the 1,100 one, the first race. This is a group that is there. I would say most of them are grade 2 type horses. But and it's like it's a maybe thought to put them up higher. But if you want to get some money, this is a good place to drop them in.
Yeah, now you got to get some money. You got to pay those holiday shopping bills soon.
Yeah. So I took the lightweight in the bunch in this race in terms of weight. One-way traffic, number 9, has 9 starts, 4 wins, and 2 seconds. It's a winner at this distance. And it won last time at first up. I like that. Layoff is okay because it's won and finished second both times in its layoffs. So it has been very competitive in those races. Watching the running of the race, some of the races, this one likes the front end, so I'd be very surprised if it isn't on the lead. Yes, this is a step up, but it gets weight advantage over some of these other horses, and we'll see. I like the record. I like the way it won last time out, and it's kind of if it can repeat that, I think it can take this field without any problem.
In good form.
Yeah, number 1 is my next choice. Ho Spurska. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Hodisbruit.
It's got to be.
It's kind of like a Swedish or something, or like.
Well, I was going to say Dutch.
Dutch, yeah. All right.
Because the Boer Wars were fought there and that kind of stuff. So I would say I thought it was Dutch.
All right.
13 starts, has 5 wins in 2 seconds. Winner of the last 2 races. Try it at a different track and open company. So, and again, we got a little bit of a layoff involved in that and came back nicely. It's been a winner at this distance, and it's a winner at this track. Always like that. And last race
combo, indeed.
Last race is very impressive. It went from 9th, but with 800 meters out, and won the race nicely. Made a nice big sweeping move and had plenty left. So I would be very surprised if this one doesn't hit the board again. The favorite, I think, is going to be number 2, Verkram. I'd be very surprised if it isn't. 18 starts, has 5 wins, 9 seconds, and 3/3. It's 2 for 4 at this distance. It won a grade 2 last time out. It went from last to first, and interesting enough, in that at the first race where I picked Safe Return.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess who set the pace in that race that this one won?
Vikram.
Yep, and so it got a fast pace and it had plenty to run at and did a nice job. I mean, it didn't win by a big margin, but it won. Yeah,
that's all that matters. They don't pay you more by length. They just pay you if your nose hits the tape first.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be moving at the end, and I do think it's going to be the favorite. It's based on what its record is in its last couple of races. This is not a step up for it. It seems to fit this field very well. As I said, it is competitive. But I think if with a nice sweeping move and a little bit of pace, this horse will win. There's a good chance of winning. But I put it for third because I don't know. I think the other two may have a little more upside. And I think one that's moving up in class, I like a lot.
So I like the Fire Alley as my top pick. Then I agree with you on that 9 horse there, Tom, whereas he is One-Way Traffic, followed by number 3, a Native Tongue. I don't like that these things are all out of order because it kind of messes me up. I don't know which way to look. Like that person that you're talking to. The eyes
you look this way.
Yes, and you're not quite sure who they're talking to. And then finally, I do like the number 1 horse, Hodisbruit. So those are the 4 that I like. I feel like they're the horses that have run the best times. They look like they're improving top form. So I'm going 8, 9, 3, 1. Those are Rich's ranks. And now, Tom, the very last foreign Friday race of 2021 is the Cape Guineas. Is that right? I hope I
Guineas.
Right. Guineas. All right, Cape Guineas. We'll go with Guineas. This tell us a little bit. So Cape Guineas, got that now, is a 7 furlong race. 16 runners in this field, Tom. So you have your work cut out for you if you're going to pick the winner or the exacta or the trifecta in this race. But if you do get the exotics right, got a feeling you're probably going to get paid, because when I was looking through it, this one actually has some odds. The number one, the top rated horse is 7-2 morning line odds. So that's the morning line maker telling you, I don't know who's going to win this race.
No, and it is a tough race, partially because of the distance, but partially because this looks like a nice grade 1 race. And so I went with one that won last time out of the distance, which is number 3, Pomp and Power. Has 6 starts and 4 wins. It likes to lead, and it looks like it will, and it hung on by a neck last time out. And depending on the pace, I think it could do it again. Its first start was not great this year, but came back and won. So I always like that angle. It means it just needed something.
Yeah, it just was out of step a little bit.
Yeah, and again, if this horse gets to control the pace like it did in his last race, I really think it's going to be really hard to beat. And the record's not bad either. Number 6, X Vana. I don't know.
All right. Number 6 is here. Where's number 6? And there you go. Javion. We'll go with Javion, right? Because it sounds like Javi. You know,
I love mispronouncing these horses.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. Has 4 starts, has 1 win and a third. It was not much against my top choice last time out, but it got those questions from the vet, and the vet had checked it over, and the jockey said it just didn't feel like running. So I'm gonna put it in there because he in the other races he's shown more, and the comment from in my comment lines that I read says you got to consider this horse, and I thought so too. I just tossed that last one out and said, stuff happens.
Yeah, it's racing.
Number 2, Good Traveler, is my final choice, and that one I can't pronounce.
Yeah, I think we got that one right.
8 starts, 4 wins, and 2 thirds. I'm sorry, 2 thirds. It really traveled well last time out, near the pace. Basically the replay I watched said it didn't finish, and I have to agree with the replay because I didn't finish. It's won at this distance at grade 1 level, and I really think it'll improve off its last start. And it may have just been a little shorter form.
You know, the interesting thing is in this particular race, you have all prices there. And I have, again, not doing the morning lines, but I do have the Cosmic Highway, which looks like it's the tie. Or one of the favorites. It's a co-favorite with number 9, Trip of Fortune. I have Cosmic Highway as my second pick. But my first pick, Tom, is number 9, which is Universal, which is 11-1, pretty much in line with your Pomp and Power. So we have some shots there. My third pick is Pomp and Power. And then my final pick is number 2, Good Traveler. So it sounds like you and I have a lot of things in common in that last race of 2022. So Rich's ranks for race number 7, the Cape Guineas. I just forgot how to pronounce it already. Guineas state grade 1 there, turf. 9, 4, 3, and 2, Tom. So that wraps up our first year of Foreign Fridays, as our friend Terry likes to put it. Tom, any final thoughts about South African racing? And you say you don't have a whole lot of experience at it, but in terms of wagering strategies or any of the above, what would you suggest?
Read the comment lines on some of these races. Because they especially racing and sport, they give you a nice little synopsis of how it ran the last couple of races. And also watch if you got a chance, watch some of the replays. Gives you some idea of how the racing is done. And here I've seen both front runners and closers. Or in England you tend to see more closers. Here you tend to see more. You see a lot of a mixed bag is the best way to describe it. But I saw more than a few races that I watched where the front runner won.
Would you say that down there, like in England, or would you say it's different in South Africa in terms of in England, it always seems to be a little wet, a little bit heavy track. Same in South Africa, or is it a little bit drier?
Well, they get it's interesting. When I was looking at these horses, I only found a couple races that was either soft or with the yielding. Most of them were running over firm courses, and so it's nice to see that. They do a mixture of racing there. They have the dirt, all weather, and turf. So you can,
Like
depending on
Gulfstream Park.
track you're playing, you can get all kinds of different types of conditions, and it's more stuff to drive you absolutely nuts.
Like I said, like Gulfstream Park last night, we had Peter Aiello, the track announcer for Gulfstream Park on. We talked a little bit about the last 3 stakes races on Saturday's card, so you can check that out over at Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. If you like what you saw here today, please follow us on Facebook or Twitter. The handle is Horse Race, the number 2, so Horse Race 2, and then day. You see it on the scroll down there below. Tell your friends about us. Tom, it's been a fun, fascinating 2021 in terms of learning about international horses. Wasn't something I really spent a lot of time on before we started doing this, and I feel like it's helped me learn a lot. So into 2022, where do you think we're going to start when we come back that first Friday of January?
Well, I think we're probably going to be probably in Australia. We're getting, it's it's midsummer there. So we'll see those, and of course it's hotter than there.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll probably pick up some of those races that are down there. And of course we've got the Magic Million coming up, and among other big races that are in there. The other area of the world right now that's heating up, is getting going, is Medellin and Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
So when they start running on Sundays, I think we'll probably have to go take a look at those.
No, absolutely, for sure. They have a lot of big races in Dubai as well. So I look forward to that, Tom. Again, we won't be back until, I don't know what that day is, like January the 7th or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Until then, Tom, I hope you have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. And then between here and there, Tom, that every horse that you play is a winner, man.
I'm hoping it will be. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody. Good luck tomorrow, or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, wherever you are in the world when you're doing the South African racing. Hopefully all your picks are winner. Hopefully we go out with a bang, Tom. That's what I'm looking for. And in case you missed Tom's picks or my ranks, I will put them all up on horseracingtoday.net, including a copy of this video in a little bit, about an hour or so. So make sure you head on over to there. You'll get Terry's best bet of the day, all the tracks that are running in the U.S. where you have some free picks. So it's an excellent horse racing website if you haven't checked it out yet. All right, Tom, once again, fantastic 2021. Looking forward to 2022. See you in January.
You bet.